These are called columns, columns or fields or attributes. Okay, customer ID, it's an attribute. Customer name, it's an attribute. And city, it's an attribute. Okay, fields or attributes are columns. Okay, suppose if we have 10,000 customers here, that means 10,000 records will be there. Okay, suppose if we have 1 lakh records or 2 lakh records, that many number of records will be there. Okay, now a table in the sense what? It's a collection of rows and columns, that you understood. Okay, table is collection of rows and columns. Now what is a row? Collection of field values. This is one field. Customer ID is one field. Customer name is one field. City is one field. Okay, row in the sense collection of field values, not fields, field values. These are the field values. See, these are the field values. Okay, now columns, collection of values belongs to one field. Collection of values belongs to one field. That means customer ID, this 10 belongs to customer ID only, and 11 belongs to customer ID, 12 belongs to customer ID, right? And customer name, Sachin belongs to customer name, and Rahul belongs to customer name. Okay, now finally database is nothing but collection of tables. Okay, collection of tables. Let me open this. Collection of tables. Now see, this system is a little bit slow. Actually, my laptop was it was crashed, so I'm using another system. Now see, okay. This is databases. Under this we have employee DB, we have employee DB, employee database. Okay, under this we have tables. Table contains what? Columns, or if you see, table contains rows and columns. See, okay, these are the columns. Okay, now if you see the values, see, columns and rows. Okay, these are the rows and these are the columns. Okay, now so database is a collection of tables. Database is a collection of tables. Now second rule, what it is saying, guaranteed access rule. Guaranteed access rule. It says every table must contain primary key to identify the records uniquely. Every table must contain primary key to identify the records uniquely. I have one table here. Just see this table. Okay, this is the table: employee name, job title, salary, date of joining. See, Rakesh, I have employee name. Okay, I have another name here also, Rakesh V. He is software engineer. His salary is this much, and his salary is this much. And he joined in March, and he joined in January. Okay, now see, suppose if you take any company, in a company, suppose if there are 20,000 or 30,000 employees are there. Okay, let's assume there may be number of employees with the same name or same job or same salary. Okay, or date of joining also. Okay, suppose if you want to update a record, how do you do that? Okay, based on a condition. What is that condition? How do you use that? Okay, so obviously we have to use a condition. Based on that, we have to update the record that you will see. Okay, now to update a record based on condition, in that scenario, if we don't have a column which is a primary key, we will call it as a primary key. Okay, that's not possible. That's not possible. So that's why if we have a primary key column like uh, employee ID, I gave employee ID. Okay, so employee ID in a company, one employee must have only one employee ID, right? Company never gives this ID to another employee. He must have only one employee ID. So this is unique. This is unique. Okay. So if we keep it as a primary key, then based on this employee ID, we can update any record. We can update any record. If we know when his employee ID, you can write a condition, his employee ID equal to something, we can update the record. Okay, that is the advantage of primary key. Every table must contain primary key to identify the records uniquely. This primary key identifies each record uniquely. Okay, not only this one, suppose if you go to any bank and if you want to update your mobile number, immediately that officer will ask you, what's your account number? Okay, account number. Then you have to provide your account number. See, here account number is the primary key. It is unique. Okay, it is unique. Another customer won't have it, right? It is unique. Now, even if we see government organizations, Aadhaar number they use, income tax department, PAN number they use. Okay, so primary key must be placed on a column to identify the records uniquely. That is the use of primary key. Okay, if you have serial number, okay, you can keep serial number as a primary key, no issue. Okay, you can use employee ID, you can use employee ID as a primary key. Okay, so that is the advantage of having a primary key which identifies the records uniquely. Okay, so next is features of RDBMS. Features of RDBMS. Easy to access and manipulate data. First one is easy to access and manipulate data. Second one is less redundancy. Less redundancy. Okay, redundancy in the sense duplication of data. Okay, duplication of data. And more security, guarantees data quality or consistency, supports data sharing, supports transactions. Okay, let's see. Easy to access and manipulate data. Easy to access and manipulate data. Manipulate in the sense changing of data, updating data, deleting data. Okay, earlier when before RDBMS was introduced to work with databases, actually developers used to write big programs even for a small task. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, right. So even for inserting data, they need to write one big program. For updating, another big program. In the same way, for every operation, they have to write a huge number of lines of code. Okay, so once RDBMS is introduced, by using what we use here, SQL, right? Structured Query Language. Just by writing SQL commands, okay, we can complete that task very easily. Okay, easy to access. Okay, and manipulation of data. Okay, that means changing of data. Okay, we can do very easily by using SQL. Okay, next, less redundancy, less redundancy. That means duplication of data. Now see, this is the table. This is the table. Here, employee table, see employee ID 1 to 20 we have, employee name, salary, department number, department name, location, location. So if you see this one, okay, this department number, department name, okay, department name, location, they are repeated. They are repeated. Okay, so for all these 20 employees, details are repeated. Okay, so this is redundancy. This is called redundancy. And problem with redundancy is what? Problem with redundancy is memory wastage. Memory wastage. We have 20 records here. Okay, 20 times this information is repeated. Suppose if I have 1 lakh records, then so 1 lakh times this information will be repeated. That is called redundancy. Okay, so unnecessarily we are wasting the memory to store this data, right? So, and also if you see another problem here, if you want to change the department location, if you want to change the department location, okay, department location from Hyderabad to something, Chennai or Bangalore, then 20 records need to be updated, right? 20 records need to be updated. Okay, so here, if we keep all the information like this, if we keep all the information like this, if one employee is resigned, suppose one employee is resigned. Okay, suppose if I ask you a question, what is the department name of department number 10? Okay, you easily you can say that, okay, department number is 10 and department HR, department name is HR, that you can say easily. Next, another record is removed. That means another employee is not there, he is resigned. In the same way, suppose if everything is not there, just assume that, then what happens? You cannot say anything, right? What is the department number? What is the department name? You don't know anything about that, right? So to overcome, to get rid of these kind of issues, what exactly this code rule saying is split the tables. Split the tables. How? For employees, you maintain one table. For employees, you maintain one table. Okay. That means storing data in separate tables. Okay. We can maintain department information in another table. We can maintain information in another table, and we can link both the tables. We can link both the tables. Okay, so when we do that, suppose if I want to update information here, I can do update very easily, and this information is maintained separately. Since this is maintained in separate table, redundancy it's not there, only department number is there, and this department number here it is linked. See, department number, whatever we have in department number, that is maintained here. Okay, so if you want to update location of HR department, now we can write simply where department name equal to update location equal to Bangalore, where department name equal to HR, that I will discuss with you later. So we can simply change the location of HR department in department table. I need not go to employee table. If I change here, that's enough, because it is linked with employee table. It is linked with employee table. I need not update 20 records. I can do it in a single record in the department table. That is the advantage of splitting tables. Okay, now security. Just now I have shown you that when I try to connect to the SQL server, it is asking a lot of information, authentication, username and password. Okay, it provides a good security. All the RDBMS systems, they provide more security. Okay, so in order to connect with the SQL server, it asks use ready and password. Okay, I create a database. If I give you permissions, then only you can access that database. Otherwise, you cannot do that. Okay, that is the use of security. It provides, RDBMS provides more security. Okay, and next one, guarantees data quality or consistency. What it is? Guarantees data quality or consistency, data integrity. We call it as data integrity. Okay, RDBMS allows only valid data. That means correct data. Okay, it allows only correct data. Now see the table here. We have one table here: employee ID, e-name, salary. Okay, first record is correct, right? First record is correct. If you see the second record, ID is repeated. That's not correct. Okay, ID is given for the first employee and the second employee also. And also, we don't have employee name. We don't have employee name, but it must be there, right? And see the salary. It is negative value. Negative value. So RDBMS facilitates, it prevents invalid data entry. Invalid data entry. That is the use of RDBMS. It guarantees data quality and consistency. Quality in the sense, we must have quality data, right? Here employee ID is repeated and we don't have employee name, and salary is negative. Okay, that should not be there. And what about consistency? Data consistency. That means, see here we have one table, employee table. Okay, we have one table. Employee number, employee name. If you see employee number 1, employee name A, and department number 10, it is there. We also have another table, that name is project ID dot dev team, development team. Okay, in this project table we have employee record, employee number, employee name A, department number 10. Okay, so we have employee name here, and along with that, this data, department number here, it is mentioned 10. That is same in employee table, and the same department number is given in project ID dot development table. Okay, that means whatever the data here, the same data will be there in this table also. That is consistency. Who is this? Okay, that is called consistency. And next one is supports data sharing. Okay, so multiple users can use database, right? So it allows multiple users and applications to access and use the same data safely and securely. Okay, applications in the sense, you can take desktop applications, you can take web applications, whatever you take. Okay, multiple users can use the same data safely and securely. This is important, safely and securely. Next, supports transactions. So in order to understand this concept, first we must know what is a transaction. What is a transaction? A transaction is a group of one or more SQL operations, one or more SQL operations that are treated as a single unit, that are treated as a single unit. Okay, so here what it says is the transaction, it should either complete fully, because it's a single unit, right? It should either complete fully or not happen at all. Not happen at all. That means if there is any problem in the transaction, immediately it has to do rollback. Rollback. Okay. Here, I gave you one example: bank transfer. Bank transfer. Okay. That means don't think that it is only for money transactions. Okay. I gave you another example here also. Bank transfer. Suppose transfer, what happens? So it has to deduct. Suppose I am transferring 1000 rupees. Okay. A is transferring 1000 rupees to B. Deduct, it has to deduct 1000 rupees from account A. Account A. And it has to add 1000 rupees to account B. Okay. Suppose there is one error occurred here. Okay. Immediately, see here, amount is deducted from the account A and we face some problem here. Okay. Immediately it has to roll back, roll back, roll back. Okay. So what it is saying, it should either complete fully or not happen at all, because it's a single unit. What is single unit? It's a transaction. It's a group of one or more SQL operations. It's a group of one or more SQL operations. When there is any problem with this here, it has to roll back. Okay. So that is the advantage of transactions. And I mentioned here another example also. Usually while booking our ticket in IRCTC, in the application form, if you see, seat upgradation option will be there. A checkbox will be provided, a checkbox. Okay. If you select that one, what happens? Seat upgradation, seat upgrade option will be there. Okay. You might have seen that. What happens? Internally, it checks if seat is available in third AC. First, it checks if seat is available in third AC. Okay. Oh, nice. Seat is available. Then cancel the existing sleeper seat. It has to cancel sleeper seat. Okay. Now, immediately it has to book AC seat for the same passenger. Okay. Now, update payment difference, if anything, and sends the confirmation message to the customer. It has to send message to the customer. If seat is not available, seat is not available in third AC, what happens? Will it execute? No, right? It should not execute. So that's why we call it as a single unit. Single unit. This is single unit. Okay. That is the advantage of transactions. It supports RDBMS, supports transactions. Okay. Now, what softwares we have in RDBMS? I already told you that SQL Server, which is developed by Microsoft, Oracle, Corporation, and MySQL or MySQL, Oracle Corporation, DB2, IBM, PostgreSQL, which is from PostgreSQL Global Development Group. Okay, group. RDS Amazon. Okay, RDS. Okay, relational database service. Service. Okay, not server. Okay, service. Let me write here. Relational database service. Okay. Now see another thing. So with RDBMS, everything is ended or not? After RDBMS also we have few more databases. Okay, what are they? It is not ended with RDBMS. We have another type of databases also. Okay, ORDBMS, Object Relational Database Management Systems. We have relational database management systems. After that, we have object relational database management systems also we have. Okay, so ORDBMS in the sense ORDBMS is equal to RDBMS and some features of some object features, some object features. You might have known this OOPS concepts, what it is for reusability, reusability and security, reusability, okay, and security. RDBMS already providing security. Okay, so that's why it has to use reusability from object-oriented concepts. Okay, so but it supports only few features, ORDBMS, and we also have object-oriented DBMS, Relational Database Management System, object-oriented. Okay, that means it stores entire objects. It includes methods, inheritances, whatever object-oriented programming says. That features we have in object-oriented relational database management systems. Okay, next, let's see. ORDBMS softwares. Okay, now see SQL server, which is partial ORDBMS. Okay, next, Oracle. If you see Oracle, it is strong ORDBMS. Okay, SQL Server, which supports few features of object relational database management system. Okay, so it is partial ORDBMS, whereas Oracle, which is strong ORDBMS. Okay, so that is the thing. After RDBMS, we have ORDBMS and OORDBMS, object-oriented databases, database management systems. Okay, now let's start SQL Server. Okay, you can say it as SQL Server also. Okay, SQL Server. SQL Server is basically RDBMS product from Microsoft and also supports ORDBMS features and use it to create and to manage databases. Okay, so it's an RDBMS and partial ORDBMS. Okay, and SQL Server is a versatile database system that supports OLTP, online transaction processing, OLAP, online analytical processing. I will explain that later. Online analytical processing. Okay, and SQL Server is used for database development and administration. Okay, now versions of SQL Server. If you see the versions in 1991, SQL Server 1.1 started. So they started using 1.1. It was introduced in 1991. 93 4.2 was introduced. 95 6.0 was introduced. 96 96 6.5 was introduced, and 98 7.0 was introduced. Okay, but from the year 2000 they started mentioning the year in which year it is introduced. The same year they started using that as a version number. SQL Server 2000, that means 2000 year it was introduced. 2005 it was introduced in 2005, SQL Server 2005, and 2008 was introduced in 2008, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, and finally in 2022 SQL Server 2022 was introduced. Okay, that was the last version, and we also have 2025 not yet released. Okay, 2022 that we are going to learn. Now see, what about this OLTP and OLAP? Let's see, OLTP and OLAP. This OLTP and OLAP are the types of data processing systems, Okay, and each one is designed for particular purpose, for different purposes. Okay, OLTP, online transaction processing. Okay, see the name, online transaction. Okay, see the name, for day-to-day transactions. Okay, now online analytical processing. See the name, analytical. It is for analysis. Okay, analysis. Here I'm trying to give an example. Amazon. Suppose in Amazon website you are trying to buy a phone. You selected a phone and you clicked on add to cart. You clicked on it and you entered the address also and you made the payment. Okay, now what happens inside? You have clicked on place order. The moment you click on place order, what happens? Your order is saved. Right? After that, the stock is reduced. And your address is linked. It will generate bill, right? So your address is linked, and also a confirmation email is sent to the buyer. Okay, so after clicking place order, these are the operations happened inside in the sense backend, right? So this is called OLTP. So online transaction processing, in the sense it is for day-to-day transactions. Okay, this is real-time work. It works fast. Okay, and it happens immediately and accurately. Okay, it happens immediately. Okay, day-to-day transactions, right? So it has to happen immediately. Okay, that is OLTP. Next, what is OLAP? Online analytical processing. Analytical analysis. Who does analysis? The management of Amazon. If you take any analyst also, okay, or manager, okay, at the end of a week or at the end of a month or every year, suppose they want to see some reports, and they want to do some analysis on the historical data. Where do this OLAP gets historical data? This OLAP gets information from OLTP. Okay, OLAP gets information from OLTP. Whatever the transactions happen here millions and millions of transactions happen, right? Here, that information will be stored in OLAP. Okay, that information will be moved to OLAP. It is like by using ETL tools, extract, extract, transfer, and loading ETL tools. They get this kind of this information from OLTP to OLAP. Okay, so this management, what they say is, suppose if they want to see which mobile brand sold the most in the last month. Okay, if they want, they can analyze all that information, historical data. Okay, OLAP maintains that. How many people from Hyderabad bought groceries? What's the return rate for laptops, or which region are growing the fastest? Okay, so in order to analyze the data, a separate system is maintained by Amazon. Not only Amazon, many organizations, companies are there. They maintain OLAP also, online analytical processing. Okay, that is for historical data. So because it contains huge information, it is slower because it considers it stores historical data, right? So that is the problem with OLAP. But it gives a deep insights to help with the decisions, like what to advertise. By analyzing what they do, they take some actions, right? If they want to give advertisements, what to advertise, where to launch new products, and also how to improve delivery times. Okay, so they analyze the data, and based on that, they take the actions. So finally, OLTP is for running the business. Whereas OLAP is for growing the business. That is the advantage of OLTP and advantage of OLAP. Okay. Next point. SQL Server is used for database development and administration. Now see, SQL Server is used for database development and administration. If you want to part of database development, you want to become a database developer. This involves creating and building the structure of databases and logic to interact with the data. Okay, this is these are the roles and responsibilities of a database developer. Okay, so what developers do with SQL Server? They design tables. Okay, they maintain relationships between the tables, and they put constraints on the tables. Okay, and they write SQL queries like select, insert, update, delete, like that. And also stored procedures. They develop stored procedures. Okay, you will come to understand this when I discuss views, triggers, functions. Many are there, and they implement business logic using TSQL. And also optimization. They optimize queries for better performance. Okay, and also import and export data, okay, for transformations. They they do these kind of what you call operations on the databases. If they are database developer, okay, their responsibilities. These are their responsibilities. Now, next one is database administration, DBA. Okay, database administration or database administrator. If he is given administration job, that means database administrator. Okay, a DBA focuses on management, maintenance, security, and performance of the database systems. Okay, his roles and responsibilities in the companies, usually they create the databases. and they give the permissions to the developers. Okay. What they do is they install and configure SQL Server. Okay. They manage user roles that I told you, that they create user roles and they give permissions. Okay. And provide security also. And they take regular backups. Okay. And if there is anything wrong, okay, or if there is any if it is corrupted, database is corrupted, then restoring database, that kind of things they do. So restoration of database, automate tasks using SQL Server agent, and ensures high availability and disaster recovery. Okay. They are the roles and responsibilities of DBA. Okay. Now next, client server architecture. Client server architecture. Okay. Now see, if you see, if you speak client server architecture in the sense of two-tier architecture, right? In the same way, we have here a tool, client side tool. We call it as server SQL Server Management Studio. It's a client tool. Okay, client tool. Using this client, we will connect to the server. What is the server here? SQL Server Database Engine. SQL Server Database Engine is the server. Okay. One second. Where are designs? Is this one? See, this is SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. And here we have server, where in which system we install SQL Server, that system itself is a server, database server. Okay, database server or engine. Okay, it has databases. Okay, it maintains, manages databases. And client tool, what we have, SQL Server Management Studio, that we have to install in our system, and we connect to the server. What we do is we send the request, and the server processes that request and sends the response back to the client. Okay, client. Here, client in the sense application or user tool like SQL Server Management Studio, web application, mobile application, etc. Don't think that client in the sense in database perspective, I'm talking about the tool actually here. But if you generally speak, web application is also a client, and in the sense, if you open a browser, suppose if you type ICICI Bank like that, okay, that web application is the with which you can interact. Okay, you cannot directly go to the database, right? Using web application, you can connect to the database. Whatever operations you perform, you do bank transfer, that will be stored in the database. Okay, a backend is there, right? So in the backend we have SQL Server, maybe Oracle also. Okay, database will be there, but you use the web application or mobile applications. Okay, nowadays everyone has mobiles, so mobile applications they can install, and when we interact with these mobile applications, what is there in the backend database server will be there. Whatever actions you perform or whatever operations you do, that will be stored in the database. Okay, so and server in the sense SQL Server Database Engine. Okay, so the place where actual data is stored and processed, that is called server. Okay, in SQL Server, client server, if you see the components of SQL Server, what we have, first one is client. First one is client. What is that client? I'm talking in database perspective. Okay, client. Okay, these are the components in SQL Server, client server architecture. Okay, client SSMS. That means SQL Server Management Studio, which sends SQL queries using GUI, graphical user interface, or through applications. This is client SSMS. Network protocol. This is another component. Another component. In order to communicate with the server, we need a network protocol, right? We need a network protocol. This is the network protocol, which enables communication, with which we are going to communicate with the server. Okay, in order to communicate with the server, we need a network protocol. Here, it uses TCP/IP, okay, named pipes, okay, like that. It uses network protocols. This named pipe, it's a Windows specific protocol for inter-processing communication. Okay, and TCP/IP in the sense of transmission control protocol. Transmission control. Let me write here. TCP/IP. Transmission control protocol. Okay, protocol. Internet IP in the sense internet protocol. Okay, the advantage of TCP/IP is it's a standard communication protocol. It's a standard communication protocol for most network systems. Okay, including internet also. Okay, and we also can use it in LAN, local area network. Okay, but this is named pipes. Named pipes, it is local. Okay, if you use internet, you can use TCP/IP. Okay, now see, SQL Server Engine. This is another component. What it does exactly? It receives query. Here, client, what it is saying, it sends SQL query. Okay, SQL Server Engine receives query and it parses it. After parsing, it executes the query. After executing, it will return the result. Who does this thing? SQL Server Engine. SQL Server Engine does this thing. Okay. Whenever it receives a request from the client, a request in the sense a query command. Okay. First, initially it checks that whether it is syntactically correct or not. That means parsing. We call it as parsing. Once it is done, it executes that query. After that, it returns the result to the client. Okay. Next one is database. Database for what? Storing the information, right? Stores the data in tabular formats, tables, rows, and columns. And we also have services. We have services here. SQL agent is one service. This is for automation. And another service, reporting services, also we have. Okay. And also we have analytical services also we have. So these are the components in SQL Server we have. Okay. Now see here, if you see this diagram, okay, SQL Server manages two things. What is that? Using SQL Server, we can create database, right? So database is created on hard disks. Database will be created on hard disks. and acts as a permanent storage. Okay, this is permanent storage. And instance, when you install SQL server, that is one instance. Okay, that is created in RAM and acts as a temporary storage. RAM, see, database server which manages two things: database, which is permanent storage, and instance. When we open SQL server, an instance will be created, but it will be there in RAM, temporary storage. Okay, everything will be done in our system only. Only the thing is, the moment you install SQL server in our system or a remote server, then that becomes a database server. Okay, what happens internally, that I'm trying to explain that. Next, client tools. Let's see now. So here, user wants to connect with the SQL server. User wants to connect with the SQL server and he wants to create database. Okay, he has to use SQL Server Management Studio. See, this is SQL Server Management Studio. I opened. Okay, I opened this SQL Server Management Studio. Where it is? See, this is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, this is recent version I installed. Okay, SQL Server Management Studio. So user can communicate with SQL server. He has to use SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, and he can create a database in SQL Server. Okay, if you take Oracle also, same thing. User, if you want to communicate with Oracle, okay, he must have SQL plus, right? Then only he can communicate with Oracle and create database. Okay, now see the advantage of client server. See the advantage of client server. Multiple clients can connect at the same time. Okay, project in the sense we can have number of developers, right? Suppose there are 5 developers and they are working simultaneously. Okay, then they can connect to the database at a time. Okay, so multiple clients can connect at the same time. And what we have a centralized database control we have. Okay, database control we have, and we also have a secure connection, secure access. Until unless DBA gives permission, you cannot work, right? So we have secure access and efficient management and monitoring. Efficient management and monitoring. These are the advantages of client server. Okay, now user is there. He wants to communicate with connect with the SQL server. Then he must use SSMS here in SQL server, SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, now when he is connected to SQL server, what he does exactly. So to communicate with SQL server databases, we need to have a language, and that language is called as structured query language. I already explained that. Okay, in relational database management system, SQL is the universal language with which we can communicate with relational databases. Okay, databases. What is SQL? Structured query language. It is structured query language. It is a standard query language. It is a standard query language in RDBMS. In RDBMS. It's a standard query language. Okay. User communicates with SQL server by sending commands called queries, right? So what is the use of connecting to the server? So in order to fetch records or in order to communicate with the database, we need to send some commands, right? So in order to send commands, what language we are using? Structured query language. Okay, so user can communicate with server and by sending commands, and these commands are called queries. A query is a command or instruction or a question given to SQL server to perform some operations over database. Okay, it's a command or instruction, so which will be processed at SQL server. Okay, and it performs operations on database. Okay, and the initial name, one second. Hello. Yeah. Yes. Just give me 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Okay. Now see, the initial name of SQL is SQL, and later it is renamed as SQL. Okay, and SQL is common to all relational databases. It is common to all relational databases. Here now see, SQL server. How do you communicate with SQL server? SQL. Oracle is there. How do you communicate with that? SQL. MySQL. Okay, you need to use SQL. PostgreSQL, again you need to use SQL. Okay, now user, he uses SQL Server Management Studio. He writes SQL queries on SQL Server to create database. Okay, user, if you take Oracle, he uses SQL plus, he uses SQL language. Okay, this is the language, and he communicate with the Oracle and he can create database. Okay, now see, but here we have one problem here. Though it is a standard query language, and it is common to all relational database, it's a standard query language, and it is a relational, it is common to all relational databases. It does not have full programming capabilities. It does not have full programming capabilities. Like we cannot write loops here. Okay, we cannot write conditional statements here. We cannot write functions. Okay, so in order to get additional advantage, later Microsoft has designed and developed an execution tool, extension to SQL, and that is called as TSQL, Transact SQL. Okay, it is an extension to SQL. What exactly TSQL includes? It contains, it includes all the standard SQL commands. Along with that, it also includes procedural programming, loops, conditions, variables, and it also contains built-in functions, strings, dates. Okay, and it handles error handling concepts also. Okay, and local variables, we can use control of flow, system functions, etc. It uses, and we can use stored procedures, triggers, and user defined functions also. Okay, that is the advantage of TSQL. It is an extension to SQL. Okay, SQL is different, TSQL is different. Okay, so next we have SQL commands that we can see in the next class. You have any doubts? Okay, if you don't have any doubts, we can close the session. Okay.
Sir, very good evening. Nitin this side.
Yeah.
Sir,
Good.
just one thing, sir.
Yeah.
With the academics or related to sports, but just one thing that do we have a next demo class?
Sorry.
Start the regular class. Anybody, if you can help me with when we are going to start with the regular class?
Probably next week we are going to merge this class with 7 p.m. batch. Okay, and meanwhile,
So we'll not be having this at 8 p.m.
sorry.
The thing is that at that time might be my office will be there. That is why. We 8 p.m.
Okay. You need 8 p.m. batch. They did not inform you that we are going to merge this batch with the 7 p.m. batch, and you will get access to videos. So probably you just speak with them now once.
Yeah, I'll speak with them. Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. You will
Thank you,
get
sir.
access to videos, all the videos. Okay. You just speak with them.
Sure, sir. I will
Any
speak
other
to
doubts?
them.
Yes, yes. You have any other doubts?
No, for example, if you our batch is merged with the 7 p.m. So what? Where are the 7 p.m. batches? How much they completed?
Just actually 1 week ago it was started. 1 week ago it was started. Okay, I'm trying to complete these things as early as possible because I'm not typing anything here so that we can save some time and we can discuss more. Okay, in that way we are planning. So probably on Monday or Tuesday we are going to merge with the 7 p.m. batch.
So till the Monday, Tuesday, shall we cover there all the topics or?
Yes, yes, definitely we are planning for that. If it is not happening, then it will take another 2 days time. Okay, I will teach 7 p.m. batch as well as 8 p.m. batch.
We thought that this is separate batch will continue from 8 p.m. only, but now you are saying it is merging the 7 p.m. No one informed us before this actually.
Okay, you speak with the management once you just contact them. What is their plan? Just try to understand that. Okay. Otherwise, we will merge both the batches and we will keep it as 8 p.m. Okay, 8 p.m. batch. We have to. They have to decide that. Let's discuss with them now once.
To whom you need to speak for that?
Do you have any contact number of DurgaSoft?
Yes, yes.
After paying the amount, did you get any call from DurgaSoft?
Yes, yes, yes. Number.
You just
Yes.
speak with them, or you can speak with admin also. Okay. Okay. Any other doubts? We have to close.
No, where are these recordings saved actually? Can we have access to these recordings?
Actually, once you pay the amount, once it is done, they give Google Drive access. They keep all the videos there. Okay. Once the payment is done, you will get access to the Google Drive.
Okay, I made the payment. Let me follow up with them. Yeah.
You speak with them now once. Okay. Let's close the session. Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.